January 3rd, 2026, 2 a.m., the skies over Caracas, Venezuela, erupt into chaos.
All Elgar Eagle units, initiate electronic jamming. Grid Green 7, defenses neutralized.
Over 150 American combat aircraft pierce the airspace, blacking out radar stations and neutralizing air defenses in a matter of minutes. While the bombs rain down on military targets across the north, a ghost unit of U.S. Army Delta Force and CIA operatives breach the heavily fortified presidential compound. Their target, the most protected man in South America.
All Venezuelan military capacities were rendered powerless as the men and women of our military working with U.S. law enforcement successfully captured Maduro in the dead of night. It was dark. The lights of Caracas were largely turned off due to a certain expertise that we have. It was dark and it was deadly. But captured along with his wife, Celia Flores, both of whom now face American justice. Maduro and Flores have been indicted in the Southern District of New York. It's Jay Clayton, for their campaign of deadly narco-terrorism against the United States and its citizens.
Less than 12 hours later, the world wakes up to a jaw-dropping reality. Nicolas Maduro, the sitting president of Venezuela, is in chains, flying toward a federal courtroom in New York City. This is the inside story of how the world's most daring military abduction. To understand why the U.S. executed a raid that legal scholars are calling a massive violation of international law, you have to look at a secretive, massive federal indictment filed in the Southern District of New York. For years, Washington alleged that Maduro wasn't just a political dictator. They claimed he was the head of the Cartel de los Soles, a massive narco-terrorism syndicate that allegedly flooded the United States with thousands of tons of pure cocaine.
The Department of Justice and State Department are announcing a historic $50 million reward for information leading to the arrest of Nicolas Maduro. Maduro uses foreign terrorist organizations like TDA, Sinaloa, and Cartel of the Suns to bring deadly drugs and violence into our country. To date, the DEA has seized 30 tons of cocaine linked to Maduro and his associates, with nearly 7 tons linked to Maduro himself, which represents a primary source of income for the deadly cartels based in Venezuela and Mexico. Cocaine is often laced with fentanyl, resulting in the loss and destruction of countless American lives. The DOJ has seized over $700 million of Maduro-linked assets, including 2 private jets, 9 vehicles, and more. Yet Maduro's reign of terror continues. He is one of the largest narco-traffickers in the world and a threat to our national security. Therefore, we've doubled his reward to $50 million. Under President Trump's leadership, Maduro will not escape justice, and he will be held accountable for his despicable crimes. If you have any information to bring this criminal to justice, call 1-202-307-4228 or go online.
The U.S. Department of Justice had placed a staggering $50 million bounty on his head, but Maduro was completely out of reach, protected by the Venezuelan army, local armed militias, and elite foreign security details, until the White House gave the green light for a total escalation. Operation Absolute Resolve was executed with terrifying precision. It lasted exactly 2 hours and 28 minutes. While F-35 fighter jets drew fire and suppressed local defenses, operators breached the palace. Maduro's internal security team fought back fiercely, but they were completely overwhelmed. Maduro and his wife, Celia Flores, were extracted, thrown into a tactical transport, and flown directly to the amphibious assault ship USS Iwo Jima, waiting off the coast. Today, Maduro sits in the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, facing a definitive life sentence. Back in Caracas, his vice president has assumed control, struggling to keep a fragile nation from collapsing into total civil war. The regime survived, but its king is gone.